So this is going to be a short tutorial on smoothing groups. So as you can look at this figure, you can see it's made up of lots of triangles. All these squares and other shapes are all made up of triangles, and that's how the computer model works. If I go into the modifier stack and I add what's called a smooth modifier, it will smooth all these separate edges together. If I choose the smoothing group 1, you'll see that happen. And now it seems to be a continuously smooth surface. And it kind of breaks down a bit because we don't really actually have enough triangles to describe the proper curvature. So the way that smoothing groups work is that if two polygons have the same smoothing group, they're smooth together. So let's try that. I'm going to go down into the edit polygon modifier, and I'm going to choose two adjacent polygons, that one and that one. And we're going to go down here and we're going to assign them both the same smoothing group 1. And you can see that we get a smooth surface from this polygon to that polygon. So in fact, if I select the whole figure by doing Control A while in polygon mode, and I choose the number 1, the whole figure gets smoothed together. Now I can separate out different polygons to have different smoothing groups, and they'll be smoothed separately. So let's do that. So if I choose the nose and I assign it to smoothing group 2, you can see that nothing happens. So I need to deassign it, unassign it from smoothing group 1, so this will separate it out like that, and you can see we get a little shaded area on his nose. Do it for the eyes. So I'm going to assign it to smoothing group 2, deassign smoothing group 1, you can see it gets shaded. Now because the nose and the eyes aren't connected, they're not smooth together. So we can use this to pull out features of the figure, so we can do behind the ears, because you've got quite a sharp edge here, and again we'll just give that smoothing group 2. I couldn't give it any smoothing group number, so we could give it number 3 and have the same effects. Feet, let's just assign that a random number like 12, and you can see that defines the foot form much better. There are automatic ways of doing that, so on certain surfaces this will work quite well. So just select everything, just clear all to reset it back to triangles, and then we can set a smoothing threshold, so any polygons, any adjacent polygons which have an angle which is under this threshold would be smoothed together. So let's try that. Let's try an angle of 10 degrees and see what that looks like. Now I'm going to auto smooth, and you can see some of it gets smoothed together. It looks a little weird. We could try and be a bit more severe about that, so let's do, say, 60. Try that again. And get a figure like that. So it can work. You can see it's caught the ears somewhat. So some combination of like auto smoothing on selected polygons and doing things by hand is usually what I do. There's a couple of useful tools in the modeling ribbon. So I'll just expand the modeling ribbon by clicking on the arrow. And if you go over to here in properties, we have these buttons. So I tend to use this one. So if I just click on something, so if I click on that, it smooths the whole figure with no threshold, and we'll just smooth it all together to one smoothing group. Normally what I do is I'll select polygons, like say around the ear again, like that, and we can click this little arrow and we'll do smooth selected, and that'll just select those polygons and smooth them into one unit, but separate it from everything else, and that's pretty useful. Once you've activated that button, you can just keep doing it, and that's a much quicker method than trying to choose smoothing groups by hand. So we can just quickly go and fix up the whole figure again, like that. Smooth selected. Again, in properties there is a smoothing group flyout thing, so you can just have it hovering while you're working, which is quite useful. And we can see as we click on polygons, we can see the smoothing groups change. So that's smoothing group 1, and that's smoothing group 2, and the ears again smoothing group 2. The face, if we select a group of polygons, then it will show us these grayed out numbers because it's not consistent, so some of them got smoothing group 1 and some of them got smoothing group 2. So there he is. That's our quick introduction to smoothing groups. That's pretty much all you need to know, really. There's more advanced stuff to do with surface normals, but that's, well, more advanced. So what's the next video I'm going to do? UV maps. Yeah, I'm going to UV map this guy. So look forward to that.